Hello everybody, this is Shilpa Gogre from Marshidanand College, Mumbai. This is about the first year BSc Mathematics paper 1 Calculus. One assignment was given on Google Classroom on 19th October 2020. The example 1.1.9 which says that if A, B, C are three real numbers, then using only the algebraic properties, which also can be referred as the axioms which you have learned, you are supposed to prove the following. And fourth, fifth, and sixth part of that example was given as an assignment. Now I'm giving you the hints or the steps which can be followed to solve the above assignment examples. Let us start with the fourth part. In the fourth part, what we have to prove is that minus a in the bracket into b is equal to minus of ab, which is equal to a into minus b. Now, what you have to remember over here is that what you understand by this notation minus of ab. Please recall that suppose you have a real number, say x, then the additive inverse of x is denoted by minus x. And what you mean by that additive inverse? That the total of x and minus x, that is the addition of a real number and its additive inverse, is 0. So other way around, if you want to prove that minus x is an additive inverse of x, you need to prove that their total is 0. Now read this minus of AB as additive inverse. This minus sign is read as additive inverse of AB. So this particular part is understood as you have to prove that additive inverse of AB is minus A into B. This is what you are supposed to prove. So we prove that minus of AB, that is additive inverse of AB, is minus A into B. Let us prove this part first. Now I'm going to write few steps with few fill in the blanks, and you are supposed to try out for filling those blank spaces. So to prove that these two are additive inverse of each other, we have to consider their total. So total of what? Total of minus A into B and AB is considered. And what answer you should get over here? The final answer has to be 0. So you need to complete these two in between steps. This is the first step you have to complete. And for this step, what you have to use is distributive property. Distributive property. So you can refer the axioms which are given to you already. Please read them again and again. That is the fundamental thing which you need to require to know. So using distributive property, you have to follow this particular step and fill in the gap. And then in the next step, what you have to use is that minus A is the additive inverse of whom? Of A. So using this, suppose you are using that A and minus A are the additive inverse of each other, what you get is total of them is 0. So somewhere here you are using the step that minus a plus a gives you the answer 0. So fill in the blank for these two things, and then using this, see we started with this and we are getting 0. For this you are using the step that 0 into anything is 0. So for final step, you are using the reason that 0 into anything is 0. Now this A can be anything. It can be B, it can be anything. So let me write it like this to avoid the confusion. 0 into X is 0. So this X can be anything. It can be A, it can be B, it can be C, anything it can be. So using this particular rule, you get the step from here to here. Okay, and then we started with this and we end with 0, which proves that hence what you get is minus a into b. This b can be either in bracket or you can avoid the bracket also. Is the additive inverse of whom? Of AB. And therefore you get minus of AB is minus A into B. And similarly, we can prove that minus of AB is equal to A into minus B. Okay, so this part need not be proved separately. The proof is very much similar to the proof which we have done over here. So try to fill in the blank, write it on the paper, take a photograph, and then send it on Google Classroom. Submit it on the Google Classroom. Now, the fifth part of the example says that you have to prove that minus a into minus b is equal to ab. Now, here also, I'm trying to give some hints or some steps. So, you start with minus a into minus b. Now, I'm leaving space over here. And the reason here is you are applying the fourth part, which is proved on the top. So use the fourth part, and then your one real number is minus a and the other real number is minus b. So use it. Then the next step is using the fact of minus of b is minus of ab. So using that fact, you will get this step. And then the final step would be your final answer, for which the reason is the first example, which is proved in the same example, the first part. Now the last part of the exercise, which was given in the assignment, that is sixth part. Here we have to prove that A in bracket B minus C is equal to AB minus AC. This is what we have to prove. Okay. Now, one hint which I will first give is how do you understand x minus y? This is subtraction of two real numbers, but as I have already told you, we have only two operations in R. One is addition and the other is multiplication. So how do you look at subtraction in terms of addition? So it is x plus additive inverse of y. So by x minus y, what we actually mean is adding additive inverse of y, that is minus y, to x. So x and y I'm using in this particular part. You see what will be replaced by x and y in this particular exercise. Okay, now let me give the hint. You start with the left hand side, that is a into b minus c. Now use the hint which I've given here and try to write down this step plus write the appropriate value over here. So the boxes are the fill in the gaps. You have to fill the appropriate values in the boxes. Okay, and what you are using here, you are using this hint. And then what you get is AB plus, again I'm using the box here. And the rule which is used over here is multiplication is distributive over addition. So fill in the gap accordingly. And then you get the next step. And then you get the next step. So these are all fill in the gaps. And hence you get A into B minus C is equal to AB minus AC. So try to fill this. It is very obvious. From here you will get the next step. From here you will get the next step. No axiom, nothing is used. It is simply addition, subtraction properties are used. That's all. So try to solve all the three problems, fourth, fifth and sixth. Try to complete rather all the three problems. Write them on the paper, write your roll number, name on it and submit it on the Google Classroom where I have given this particular assignment.